episode 9 of Seraph of the End Season 2, it left me rather speechless just because of how all the stuff went down, and it seems that, most of our characters, at the end, they are definitely not in a good place right now. We have you unconscious, getting carried away by injured Mika. We have shooting one everyone, now getting surrounded by the vampires, and we have no idea if some of them are nobles or if they're a fodder, but at the same time, they are definitely being outnumbered because they did lose two people at the end there, and that right there I will discuss later on. But the episode itself, despite how, I guess, shocking you can say it was, at the beginning, we see now that we learned last week that he died. And I did say, because in the preview we saw him fighting, we all knew that, some way, somehow, he was coming back. And the way that he did, I really can't complain that much because we still don't know that much about this power trapped inside him. So I can't say that right there is BS or an asshole because, we don't know to the extent that the other power of the angels inside him, can do when they go all out. So keeping him alive forcefully, that right there should not be that impossible to achieve. But we see now that his demon, Ashura Maru, she was telling you that he died because we see now that when he took those pills, those pills had actually ruptured his heart and destroyed his organs. And even though she does have some kind of regenerative power, she could not heal him. And so right now, she'll let them let him know that the angels inside him, because we still have no idea what exactly these angels are. But apparently they were somehow keeping him alive forcefully. And so right now they had left some kind of trumpet there, and I'm guessing if you had went to that and used it, I'm pretty sure that he wouldn't went berserking crazy like he did last season. But we see now that his demon, she did not want that, and she was trying to stop him because she could not give you any more power, because when he takes those pills, those right there actually suppress his desires, and that right there is what the demons feed on because they put their curse into an overdrive state. And so right now when you was being, I'm guessing, in a trance by that trumpet, we have his demon, she actually impaled him in the chest, and we see now that you was if you don't want me to use the trumpet, then give me more power. And we see now that somehow the angels, they were able to make Yu's heart beat again, and that right there allowed his demon to actually heal him. And so now with him having her power, we see Yu get up, and first everyone was definitely shocked because no one expected this, but we see Yu take off so freaking fast. We see him get up and run off, and not only did he get mad air from what we saw, this guy somehow got some sonic speed because he made his way back there, to the building where Crowley, Hornet, and Chess was in no time flat. And so we see they were trying to get some info out of Guren because they were torturing him, beating him up because obviously he was not going to give them any intel. But we see now that when you had came in there, we have Crowley fighting him. And obviously, you were thinking that maybe now he could have a chance at saving Guren, but no, Crowley was still freaking OP, even when you got this power up, because we saw him fending off, you attacks easily, dodging them, and you was taking quite a beating. And so we see now that he had wanted more power from his demon, and we see now that at first he was getting given into the into his desire, because right now he had a limit, I believe, of 2 or 3 minutes where he can fight with his demon power, still in check, but at his max as well, before he would become a demon himself. And also there was at one point where we have Crowley almost killing you again, but this time Guren had to get in the way so that way Crowley will stop and not kill him, because obviously they need Guren to get information out of him. But we see now that when you was like, giving, into the, like, giving the demon more of his desires, we see the curse mark changing, it was like spreading like all over his body, and eventually we see him now growing a horn, and we have one of his eyes becoming red. And so right now he became a demon, and even with that power, you still was like no real threat, toward Crowley. But we did see, like I'm guessing that if Horn or Chest would have for you while he was like this, I'm more than positive that they would have died, because you definitely have some power. But Crowley, he is like something else. Now hopefully we can get like some kind of explanation as to why Crowley is like so different compared to other nobles, because this guy seems to not go down no matter what comes his way. But then we have Kimi coming in there as well, and we see him now using his demon power where he summons that black coffin. And we see now that what this coffin can do, where after that 9-second countdown, we have Kimi here grabbing you and throwing him into the coffin, because we saw you get like eat up by some kind of black demon. And so we see now that like Kimi power, it actually allows him to trap someone in that coffin for a few seconds. And I will say that right there was kind of a letdown. Now hear me out, because we saw that when you and Kimi had sparred back to, like a while ago, where they first mastered or got these new power-ups, we see now that you here had backed off instantly, where that black coffin was like counting down. And so I thought maybe, his power would be something, deadly or devastating. But the fact that it's like only, can confine an enemy for a few seconds, that right there is definitely not as dangerous as I thought. But somehow, being in that coffin had turned you back to normal. But we did see that like he was like passed out for the rest of the episode after that. And so now we have Kimi carrying you, and they were all running to where everyone was. And we see now that like Shinya, this guy was like definitely worried, because he could see the enemy that the enemy reinforcements were now on their way. And so obviously now they had to get the heck out of there before they were like overrun with like vampires. And so now when they were running, we have Mika, who was like waiting, but we see now that he knew the vampires that were on board all those air choppers, whatever you want to call them. And so right now, where we have, Shinowa squad, Shinya, that Trident Guy squad, and all the comrades they had rescued, they were all running away, but Mika here has saw them. And so right now, they were thinking that like, one vampire noble, like playing the number games, they can obviously overpower him. And so right now, when they got closer, and we see now that when Mika has saw you, obviously, he got really serious then. And we even have him, giving his sword a lot of blood, so that way, he'll be, really powered up when he confronts all these humans. And so right now we see that at first, Mika here, he was doing a pretty good job, getting past the fodder. But when it came to characters that we knew about, like the Guren squad, they actually, did shut him down, because they were like using teamwork. And also that smoke guy is like pretty evil, because he was like making some illusion about Mika's legs, melting off. And that right there had to be so painful, but dang, Mika had actually pressed through that and continued on, and that right there was awesome. Oh, and also, Guren here had mentioned some kind of plan he had for himself, back when you came to save him. Hopefully we can see this plan, this plan in action soon, because right now it definitely wasn't looking good for Guren back then. But going back to Mika now, we see him getting beat up, cut up. This guy was like definitely put through the ringer, but at the same time, he was still making his way toward you. And then at one point, we we got the flashback as well, back when they were children with their family, and of course they were like being, contained by the vampires. We see now that like Mika had asked them, what would he do, if they could get out and and be with their family, but you was like, that's impossible because that virus had like spread through the world and not only the human race, but Mika was still trying to be, like up about it and trying to be, trying to give you like this like happy dream of sorts. And so right now, when you was like that right there will be fun, being out in the real world with his family and not be around the vampires. Mika said that Mika said that that he needed to start getting busy, and I'm guessing that like that is where or that's when Mika had decided to like go to Farid and let him drink his blood, because I'm guessing Farid was like filling his head with like the thought that like maybe he would somehow get you, Mika, and the family, away from the vampires, and obviously, but like Mika being a kid, I'm pretty sure he believed that. And so right now, it definitely wasn't looking good for Mika, because we saw him, getting pretty beat up. But at one point, he actually did manage to get you back, but it wasn't for long, because we have Yoshi coming up from behind him, and we had Mika trying to get him off, but he was like, if kill me if you want, but if you're Yu's family, then you're our family as well. But Mika was like not trying to hear that, and we see now that when he actually got Yoshi off of him, we have Shinya, stab him in the back. And right now, Shinya was like definitely going to kill this guy. But luckily, we have Shinya coming in there with that save, and she actually protected, Mika. And so right now, everyone was like definitely confused about what in the world she was doing. But right now, Shinya knows that if they let Mika die, then you will definitely hate them forever. And so right now, she had no choice but to actually defend him. And so right now, everyone was like saying Shinwa as a traitor, and of course they were like going to kill her as well. But then we have the other members of the Shinwa squad, joining her, because they all made a promise to like protect their friends, and to protect their family. And so right now, Shinwa was like actually going to leave you in Mika's hands while they actually protect him and allow him to like get away. And we see now that when she had made this opening, obviously, Mika got away, but now Shinwa was like left there. And I'm guessing that, Mika was like Shinwa was thinking that, she was going to die, because she was saying that, if they can meet again, but sadly she was like cut off before she could finish, because some father had the nerve to attack her from behind. And so right now, she was like, don't kill her, but some father was going to do that. But luckily, we have the Trident guy who actually, who actually protected her. But of course, Shinwa was like not getting off that easily. But obviously, that it was nothing they could do at the time, because now reinforcements had arrived, and we see now that for some reason, what was her name? Yayoi, something like that. But I don't know why, but out of all the characters that like could have died, why in the world would they kill, the glasses girl? Because if you guys don't know, I love girls in glasses. And so obviously she was definitely my favorite girl out of that entire squad. And the fact that, they got cut off like that right there is like pretty messed up. But then we also have another guy dying as well, who's also in the Trident guy squad. And so obviously now he was like furious, but Shinya was like, there's no time for that, because we have to retreat. But sadly, they have no time now, because we saw all these, vampires, jumping down from their aircraft. And so now, when they were following, obviously, even though most of them are pretty injured or tired, they had no choice but to fight for their survival. And we now have Mika, who is still badly hurt, carrying you off somewhere, safely. But overall, the episode, like I said, was definitely good. It was shocking, to say the least. But let me know what you guys thought as well. And don't forget to like and subscribe, because it really helps me out. But as always, you guys take it easy. And I will see you all next time.